Gigantism trees. These are either the bane of your existence or the reason you live for Minecraft. Do you love these big trees or do you hate these big trees? Let me know in the comments below. What's going on, everyone? This is NoobSniper and welcome back to another episode on the Noob server. I have a couple updates since the last episode and let me download those to you ASAP. Oh god, I fell inside the pen. Okay. So, since the last episode, a couple of things. I realized I need to do some enchanting because I'm already level 30. However, I have no bookshelves cases. So, I need to harvest the leather from these cows. Well, first breed them up and then harvest them. Also have a sheep there. I think I'm going to make a bit of a little wool farm. So I have one of many sheep that I now have. I've collected. And then a few days ago I logged in here and I saw all of this. And I assume this is Camo's doing. I can only assume it is. Also, these things take forever to break. I guess the pickaxe is the right tool. Can I just use my hands, actually? Oh, okay, hands work better. Cool. So yeah, there's these little player heads. I believe these are rabbits. So I believe I now have a wall of dead rabbits. That's, you know, not what I was expecting to decorate and furnish this house with, but I'll go with it. I'll go with it. And I have a couple of updates from the Nether regions, aka my basement. Note to self, never call your basement the Nether regions. There's also one up here which I think is a cave spider, but someone left me some cake, so I'm always happy with some cakes. I'm okay with cake. And I'll show you a bit of an update from the basement. So this is all the supplies I've been acquiring. I need to actually plant some sugarcane. Remind me, guys. Remind me. I need to plant sugarcane. So down in the basement here. Oh, I should probably mention. From up here, in the last episode, I actually had a door that went right down to a spiral staircase. Now, I have just a single door that just goes there. I didn't like the spiral staircase. It was kind of intrusive. Also, I cut my storage area short. I don't think I need a full room all the way around. And behind me, I'm not going to show too much. I don't want you guys to see the names, but this is the Hall of Nooblets, like that. I'm using, I'll show you guys here. I'm not going to show the names. This is stripped oak logs. I'm not sure if it makes a difference if they're oak versus spruce or what have you, but these are stripped oak logs just placed sideways this way. I'm probably going to do that for the ceiling as well. But I like this little entrance. It was cute. I like the pig up top there. I might decorate them with some heads up there, but I like this. It's a nice simple hall, but it's going to look really nice all the way down. I'll probably do sections. So I'll do a section like this of all oak, stripped oak logs, and the next one will be some, you know, maybe it's quartz, maybe it's another block, but I want little sections of things. And if you don't know what this is and you're like, okay, what is this hall that you're being so, you know, suspiciously not showing us about? Well, this is called the Hall of Nooblets. It's where I actually celebrate people who watch the channel, who have been part of the channel, part of the series. So stay tuned later in the video to see if you've been entered into the Hall of Nooblets or if you'd like a chance to. This here is the enchantment room. I decided to change things up and use some brick here. No one ever uses brick, so I said, hey, why not? It's a different block. I'll probably replace all of this as well with some block. I'm not sure what, but some block. So, the meat and potatoes of this episode. 1. Sleep. 2. Sip tea. Oh, it's hot. Ah, that's hot. 3. The actual meat and potatoes of this episode. I'm going to be doing some updating of the land here and planting a few things, planting some farms, that's it, and some different crops. All I have back here are carrots, which I probably will use pretty extensively. Also, I collected a bunch of potatoes from a village and then went ahead and cooked them all instead of planting any of them like a dumbass. So, yeah, that's that. Oh, little baby cows. Oh. So, surveying the land here. This is our carrot farm. We have our little chicken pen covered by trees. We have some open land over there, and we have our animal pens here with cows, sheep, horses, etc. So in terms of building out a little farm for crops, I want something that's accessible, something that's pretty close. But I also want to keep this pathway open here. So I was thinking initially about putting a big wheat farm right here. But at the same time, that would mean if I want to cross, I'd have to go either through the field, or I'd have to go around it or up, you know, and do some parkour. And as much as I like parkour as much as the next guy, I don't think so. So what I'm going to do over there is I'm going to expand this land. Nice little big square here. Nice little big square. That's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one. I'm going to expand a big square here and make this the wheat field. The field of wheat. Isn't that a movie? Wheat field, field of wheat? I feel like it is already. And for design, I think I'm actually going to be, instead of creating fences which kind of blocks off the area, I think I'm going to integrate this into the land, in that I want to create almost like a wooden floor border, if that makes sense. I used big air quotes there. Something like this where there's a non-specific pattern. I'm not going for efficiency here. I just want to make a little... Oh, I want it to go in one. Hold on. Oh no, I didn't want to do that either. Damn it. There. Something like this, where I can just lay down a giant border perimeter of wood and then just have a nice little wheat field. You know, nothing special, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Just works. Alright, so this is the farm. That's what it looks like so far, the little wheat field. It is a 16 by 25 little farm, which means it can hold up to 400 wheat minus 6, so 394. But now comes the fun part of just planting all the seeds. Nothing really to it. I thought about natural lighting, or sorry, rather, I thought about lighting and decided against doing anything artificial like glowstone or torches. And I just said, hey, it's a big wheat field. I'm never going to need this much wheat at any one point in time. I don't think so. So let's just let natural course of action, the sun, the natural moonlight, whatever it may be, just let that run its course, and the wheat field will grow eventually. I'm not too stressed about having 400 wheat at a time. My cattle farm is not going to be that big. My chicken pen will not be that populated. So I'm pretty good with excuse me, pretty good with just what we got going on here, and that's all I got. I've got like a little over a third of the field, maybe 40% of the field covered there, and I don't really need to worry about that too much. I did go ahead and put a little chest there so I can keep the wheat handy and nearby, so that I can just put the wheat there, breed, or wheat, take it there. Actually, no, they take seeds, which will also be acquired by harvesting the wheat. So there we go. So we got our carrot farm, we got our wheat farm, we got our cattle farm. Next thing I want to do is melons, pumpkins, and reeds or sugarcane. I'm just going to go ahead and take a quick nap here. I do have some pumpkins. We're going to go ahead and make some seeds. I don't believe I have melons. No, I do not. The pumpkins don't need to be too crazy. I'm probably just going to be doing a single row and have the pumpkins grow in just one direction. It will not be very efficient, but it'll look aesthetically pleasing. So what I mean is that I will put, let's say, pumpkins all along here. Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't I just do that? Sweet. Thanks for the idea, Matt. No problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this down here. Take down this fence. And this is probably the easiest farm I'll ever have to build. Look. Cool. And I don't need a lot. I'm not going to make a ginormous pumpkin farm. So here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. Ta-da! That's about it. All the pumpkins will grow here because they don't have a way to grow there, and they don't have a way to grow to the sides. So yeah, that was simple, and that's simple enough there. So a couple of fence gates. The pumpkins will grow right here. I don't think this needs to be tilled. I'm very confident it doesn't need to be tilled, because once the pumpkins lay on there, I don't think so. But either way, we'll leave it like that. I was tempted to put some wooden pressure plates here, but I think that takes away from the look of, you know, just some greenery there. Actually, why don't we just do this for consistency purposes? I think that just kind of looks nice, having it all tilled farmland there. So, pumpkin farm, or very mini pumpkin farm, done. Don't really need a pumpkin farm, so it's more just for the story, the lore behind the noob server farmland bit. Cool. So put some green stuff away here. Put that away. Also made a few golden carrots just as my potatoes are running out here. I'm still really kicking myself that I didn't keep some of the potatoes, because baked potatoes are a good food source. Carrots aren't bad. They're okay, but I do prefer potatoes, baked potatoes. Oh well. Let's see if we have any eggies here. We do. How many? 8 eggs. Yeah, they're producing a lot more eggs, so sick. 25%. 2 out of 8 eggs produced a little babby chicken. Alright, so let's do a quick survey of the land. Now we want to make a reed farm, or a sugarcane farm. This we are going to need a little bit more space. I was thinking about putting it back there, but I also want a pathway or entrance to carve out in that direction. So I'm trying to think where a suitable, well, probably right over there, to be honest. A little reed farm. Maybe I'll, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll clean up this area a little bit here. Flatten it out a little bit, or at least transition the ground a little bit more smoothly, and make this into like a little reed farm, or like a little, I'm going to call it reed. I'm sorry, reed is what I used to refer to, bamboo and reed, and so yeah, sugarcane. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that here. I'm just trying to figure out what a nice way of doing this would be. Like, I like this circular look of it, so I'm thinking maybe just keep it like a big circle here, like this. Yeah, I might do that. So let's go ahead and start landscaping a little bit here. Landscaping wasn't the word. Terraforming. That's the word. I want to do some terraforming here. Okay, so something like that. Nothing too specific. Just this nice round lip, gradual circle, nothing too fancy. I don't like that corner right there. I'll probably just put a block behind instead. But something very simple like that, kind of like an oval shape, and then I'll just have reeds dispersed semi-evenly, but nothing, again, nothing too fancy. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in as much as I can here. I don't know if I have enough dirt. I think I do. I think I do. So I'm just going to sleep the night away and then start filling in this area. Okay, so that's there. I was debating taking those trees out, these two or three trees, but I think I'm just going to have to eliminate this big chungus over here and keep the field as is. I also think eventually I want to replace this outer edge here exactly the way it is, but probably replace it with, I don't know, either stone or something. I don't quite know what exactly yet, but something. I feel like the dirt would be kind of weird looking, but I don't know with what yet. So I'll play around with that idea, but let's take care of this Chungus here. Let us all take a moment to mourn for the Chungus. You stood valiantly. You didn't really stand because you were floating, but you were there in our hearts always, and forever always will be, the Chungus tree. Okay. So, got everything laid out here. I'm going to go ahead and just start digging random holes. Now with the sugar canes, I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting because I haven't played with them in a while here. Let's grab them. Let's go this way. Aha. Separate entrance. Okay. So I'm pretty sure how this works. I need to make an infinite water source. That's going to be important. I believe how reeds work. Let's do some experimenting. So when you put a hole there of water, they can be adjacent to water. They cannot be, or sorry, they have to be directly beside water. They cannot be adjacent, so they can't be on this block here. Even if there's nothing in the way, they cannot. So they only grow adjacent to water, which means And the other thing I wanted to check here is if I had right here, like so, I can still place that, and that should still be able to grow like that. Yeah, cool. So that makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to come up with a general pattern, nothing too specific or fancy. I think what I'm going to be doing, I was debating doing a lot like this, like a checkerboard pattern, which is not very efficient, but it kind of looks nice. And I still might go with that. Or alternatively is go a little bit more spread out like this, which is technically, oh, I'm stupid, sorry. Which is technically more space efficient. But I don't really care about efficiency. I care more about the aesthetics of how this looks. And I kind of think the checkerboard, like, oh, like this, looks a lot better. Where you have, like, just a lot of density as opposed to, I don't know, I think I like that. I'm just going to do that all the way down, all the way across. So, let's see how this goes. About to munch my first golden carrot. That tastes so good. Okay. So this is roughly what I was looking at doing, and I think that looks really nice. I also will be putting some glowstone underneath inside the water. So, for example, like right under there, like this block right here, that would be glowstone. Not to all of them, but to some. And I think that'll look pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and fill that back up. The only thing is I have to go back through here, and some of these, because they're open here, I have to just kind of fill them up a little bit. So I have to do a little bit of MacGyvering here through and just double checking all of these spots. So be back in just a second, and then I'm going to have all the, or as many of the reeds planted as I can. Alrighty, well, that looks kind of nice, and I think it's going to look really nice once the sugarcane is all planted and grown. This takes a stupidly long time because of the individual buckets needed. I had a water source there and a water source right underneath that corner there. It took a lot longer than I expected, but it's going to be worth it because it's going to look really nice. And now in this case, the planting process, I'm just going to go left to right. I'm not going to go row by row or anything like that. But I think it's going to look really nice. Also, that little corner is never going to be, it's never going to see the light of, so just boop, there you go, perfect. When in doubt, just cover it up. That fixes 99% of the world's problems. It doesn't actually though. Alright, so I'm going to go fill this up as much as I can, and then we'll be right back. Alright, and we have just about 50% of that planted. That's going to look really nice with a bit of glowstone underneath to light up everything. I think it's going to look really nice. Very aesthetically pleasing. So that's always nice. Let's get right to the Noob server Hall of Nooblet stuff. Alrighty, so Hall of Nooblets here. We are about to enter. Now this, I alluded to at the beginning of the episode, is a place where I commemorate, celebrate, thank, and welcome folks in the community who have either been part of the community for so long, are super engaged, comment on all the videos, you know, reach out to me on social media, hang out in our Discord. All of you folks, I recognize you, and I want to say thank you. So the more active you are within the community, the more I will thank and praise and give you all the hugs and kisses virtually online, unless you don't want that. And in this case, let's just go through the Hall of Nooblets. Okay, so last episode, I inducted, rather from last episode, I inducted a few Nooblets here. So Shade Plays, Vionos, sorry, I'm butchering your name. Lusty Dolphin, which, by the way, Lusty Dolphin. Nork the Childa, who comments on basically every single video I ever make and always is on social media. He's going through some stuff right now, but all the best because Norkta is awesome. Camo and Vulcan Otaku. Three of these folks are actually, wait, four of these folks. Yeah, four of these folks are actually part of the Noob server here. So in today's episode, to get inducted into the Hall of Nooblets, all you gotta do is leave a comment below. And always, I appreciate if you can like the video too, but leave a comment below answering this one simple question. Something I've actually been interested in for quite a while, and it made me think, you know, what capacity does our brain have? And so the question is, What is your earliest memory? Period. Well, question mark. That is the basic fundamental question is, what is your earliest memory? Some people I know are like, well, yeah, I remember my first day in kindergarten when I went, or my first day in preschool when I was like 3 or 4. Personally speaking, I actually remember things since I was around 2 years old, where the first memory I had is actually one of the coolest ones because I think it honestly, it probably traumatized me, but at the same time, it stuck. My family and I were at a antique market of some sort, like a flea market, antique market, and we're going through one of these stores, very small, and it had a bunch of small rows full of, again, stuff. And the memory that comes to mind right now is I see this taller guy, fairly young, in his 30s, rip a purse off of an old woman. She was dressed in like a pink overcoat, had like white curly hair, and like a blue skirt or something like that. And he ripped the purse off of her and started running down the aisle towards me, like in my general direction. And I remember my dad just kind of turning around and just putting his foot out to trip the dude, and this dude went sailing. Like he might as well have had a Electra on him. He just flew. It flew right to the ground. My dad kind of like jumped on top of him, threw the purse, give the purse back to the lady, and then security came and arrested apprehended. I don't know what they do, but I assume they arrested the guy. And it was so traumatic, but at the same time, it was such a cool moment that I think it stuck out in my head. And I was no more than maybe a little over 2 years old. So that was something that will always stick in my head as the earliest memory. Sometimes I get glimpses of seeing myself jumping over play gates. Like I was a very rambunctious infant. I was a pain in the ass. I was a big pain in the ass. I remember my mom would put baby gates, and it would prevent me from going to the next room or the hallway or wherever. So I was kind of in my living room with TV and crib and all that. And I must have been, again, somewhere in the ballpark of 2, maybe a little bit earlier. But I remember climbing over this thing, like putting my foot inside the little, I guess not like a mesh, but like a plastic grate, and I was just like climbing the whole fence. And this fence was like, I don't know, maybe 3 feet high. As an infant, it looks like the Great Wall of China, but I'm climbing it. And I just remember those memories where mom would be like, "No, Matthew, go back down." I'm like, okay. But yeah, let me know what your earliest memories are. Leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode. As always, guys, I hope you did enjoy. You guys are the best, and have yourselves an awesome day. If you want to see more content, of course, hit the subscribe button. Liking the video if you watched it all the way to the end is always appreciated. And leave a comment below if you want to get inducted into the Hall of Nooblets. If you're already one of these 6 people, but you'd still like to get inducted into the Hall of Nooblets, I would recommend that you still put your name down because I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So, have yourselves an awesome one. Take care. Bye-bye.